Mr. Alexander the Great Volkanovski, how are you, sir?
I'm very good, mate. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for taking out the time to speak with me. You are on a crazy tear right now. You've won 15 straight, currently 5-0 in the UFC, and ranked number 10 in the world at featherweight. I understand that you have a rugby background, which is like one of the toughest sports known to man. Like, rugby is tough. It's like football, American football, but like tough. And so what would you say kind of that you take away from your rugby days that kind of carried along into your MMA career?
Oh, man, just, obviously toughness. Like you said, it's tough, but I've always been used to the big boys. As you probably heard, that I used to be 97 kilograms. What's that, 213 pounds, I think that is. Is that about right, you reckon?
Yeah, like 213, 215, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so it's bloody, that you could imagine. Now I fight at featherweight, 66 kilograms. So it's bloody crazy difference. So I've always been used to the big boys, you know what I mean? Like, so I've been in, the front row is the position where, pretty much give them the ball, run straight at a brick wall, them types of guys. So that's what, I was one of them types of guys. And, I don't know, it made me tough. Like you would see in the scrum, we call it a scrum. That's when we all huddle in the scrum, and you got the hooker, which is between the two front rowers. So you got this monster of a man that's 120 kg, tall, about 6 foot plus, and then you got me that's 5'6" if I'm lucky. And this hooker's just lopsided like this, with one arm over this big fella. And so it was obviously, it's crazy. So that's what I was used to, and I've sort of brought that into my MMA. Like, I just feel like even now, I still train with the big boys. Obviously, I've got to be careful, but at the same time, I feel just as strong as these, even welterweights, middleweights. You know what I mean? That's why I try to tell people, I'm like, when it comes to strength, I reckon pound for pound, I'm one of the strongest in the whole UFC.
Yeah, I mean, you're known to bully guys. I mean, you fight, you're out there fighting, as if you are, 215 pounds. Like, you really just kind of take it to them, you get in their face, you look for the takedown, and just maul them. You pretty much just maul guys out there. It's pretty crazy, honestly. So, like, rugby, like we said, it's pretty tough. Did you come away with any, like, nagging injuries from rugby that you still kind of have to deal with? Like, it is a pretty brutal sport, as is MMA.
No, I haven't, to be honest with you. Obviously, you're always going to have nigglies. Mate, like I said, I was a lot heavier, so I had a lot of meat around them bones. So I don't know. Like, I was just stocky, as you could just imagine. 97 kilograms. I had big, chunky legs. Obviously, I was pretty fat, but I was just like a ball, mate. Just like even my head, like, you know what I mean. I had that much meat on this fucking head as well. It was crazy, but it's just, it's bloody. You know what I mean? It's just freaking, again, it's made me who I am today. So I wouldn't change it for a thing, but again, like as we're saying, it really, as you can see, I brought a lot of that sort of style, that bully style, that real strong from the football. So it's definitely played a big part, and I'm glad. Even though I started MMA reasonably late, I've been doing it for about 8 years now. Started MMA about 8 years. I know that's not too bad, but I was 22 years old when I started training MMA, right. And but I mean, I wouldn't change it. It made me the big, strong, mentally in the head. Again, I'm like a little chihuahua that's 10 foot tall. You know what I mean? Put me with these big boys. I remember actually, I was just talking about it the other day when I was in Thailand, because you get that many people training there, Tiger Muay Thai. And we'll put us all on the wall from biggest to smallest to biggest. And like, you would cut it in half and have the big guys, would have to, because there wasn't enough room on the mats, there was that many people there. So only half would spar at a time. And I would always creep my way to the big boys, and I would have the coaches going, Alex, get the fuck back on the other side. What are you doing? Like, I'm up here with the middleweights and the heavyweights and shit.
And you're talking about Frank and George Hickman, of course.
Yeah, exactly right. So that's mentally just where, you could ask them, and they'll tell you every time we've got to literally pull him away and go back there with the boys your size. And I'd look at them going, what, these guys are my size? I'm just so used to bigger boys.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, you really like to get in your opponent's face and really just rough them up. But against Darren Elkins in your last fight, you really let your hands go. You wobbled him. You dropped him several times with your right hand. Did that fight give you any extra confidence in your stand-up ability?
No, well, I still like, obviously, went all right, but I still see holes. I'm my hardest critic, so I still see plenty of holes and things I wasn't happy with, and even some decisions I make. Usually I make really good decisions. It's one of the things that I tend to do, make the right decision, right time, get the right reactions and capitalise on it. But there was a couple of things, like obviously you would have heard about my rib that I'd done a couple of days before the fight, and that was just playing on my mind. So I made a couple of bad decisions purely trying to protect the rib. Like when I had Darren hurt, it went to, usually, you watch my fights, I jam my hips in and cave the head through the canvas, ground and pound, that's my thing. But I was that worried about running into his knee, coming down and stuff like that. I sort of folded my body like this, and his head was there, so then I'll just go for the guillotine because it was there, you know what I mean? And it was just weird. It was just little hesitations that changed a couple of things. I honestly believe I would have finished that fight if I didn't have that playing on my mind. But no excuses. I got to people like, oh, you got to show more tools, but at the end of the day, that's still nowhere near the fighter I am. So you're going to see this time. Chad Mendes, he's not a type of guy that you can just bully. Don't be surprised if I go out there and I'm so much stronger than him anyway. I won't be surprised. But I'm expecting him, I'm trained for him to get back to his feet quickly, or, hard to take down and fight off the scrambles, stand up striking and stuff like that. And be ready for me to put on a good performance.
Now, afterwards, you respectfully called out Chad Mendes, a training partner of Darren Elkins. Was that like a spur-of-the-moment thing, or did you have that kind of plan that you were going to call out Chad with after Elkins?
Yeah, it was sort of a spur-of-the-moment thing, but obviously I had it on my mind as well. A little bit of strategic there where I was thinking, I know he's going to be, he'll come off that suspension and then, get in the rankings, high in the rankings. I thought this is a good opportunity for me to shoot for the rankings. I don't think he deserves to fight someone so high up. So it was sort of a smart sort of call out. Like you could say I sort of planned it a little bit. But, it worked. So, I don't usually call people out, but made it work. Obviously I threw a little bit of dirt on his name. He got suspended and I've sort of been like, he doesn't deserve to call the shots he's coming off a suspension from. We all know why. But, at the same time, it got me what I wanted. So sorry for rubbing your name in the dirt, mate, but it is what it is. You got caught, whatever. But now that was my gig, I want these guys that are going to do that sort of stuff. I remember I always used to say the whole bad guy thing, the guys that talk shit. There's no one in the division that really does that anyway, but, it was just my little gimmick at the start. But right now, if these guys are going to get caught juicing and stuff like that, maybe they're the guys I want. So, again, no, I don't like throwing that out there, but that's why I done it, to get the call out, to get, maybe I thought I'd build a bit of fire there to make him want to fight, but sorry, mate, but yeah, I've got what I wanted. Maybe I'm going to have to do this every time.
It's kind of part of the game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I interviewed Chad last week, and he mentioned your style and how you really bully guys. And he also said he thinks that you're in for an awakening. Do you think you're going to be able to go out there and bully Chad Mendes?
I think I'm going to have my way with it, but saying bully, like I said, there's going to be scrambles. I always prepare for the worst. I'm expecting him to be strong. I'm expecting if I take him down, he's going to get back to his feet. I expect big shots being thrown and things like that. But I know I can go for days. And I've proved this time and time again against grinders. Every fighter I've had are absolute grinders, and I've always been able to slow them down and have my way with them still. So don't be surprised if, late in that first second, again, he's going to have a rude awakening too. He's not used to a short, stocky. We're both fighting guys that, I train with a lot of guys. I'm sure he does too, but I guarantee he has never trained with someone as strong as me. So he's going to try and have his way, and, he's going to think he's going to stop me from bullying him. That's just going to wear him down. And then and I just think that's where he's going to slow down if I don't catch him early, which is a good chance. We're both pocket rockets. We both hit hard, and our styles, it's going to make a banger. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's a good chance that, we're going to be landing some big shots, catching each other coming in or off the breaks and stuff like that. But if I don't catch him early, then I just believe that I can do 5 rounds all day with give me a fresh guy every round and I will be able to get through it. And I just don't think he builds his cardio as much as I do. So I get to prove that December 29th.
Yeah, 2 alphas. I'm excited for it personally. So
Alpha Hobbits going at it.
How's training camp going? I know you train at Tiger Muay Thai out here in Thailand. How much time did you actually get to spend with the Hickman brothers and Tiger out here?
Yeah, my training camp's going really good. I always said, I don't like to make the excuses, but I mean, like all my last few fights, I've literally had 6 weeks to prepare. Like I'll be injured and then I'll take a fight. I wasn't even training. Then I'd have 6 weeks to just purely get fit enough for the fight. Don't get me wrong, I got fit enough, but this time I got to train, wrestle, grapple, 12 weeks out, and just relax, train and with, learn, no pressure. And then really just this last few weeks, I'm actually at City Kickboxing with the boys, Israel, Brad Riddell, Dan Hooker, Kai Kara-Free and Shane Young, all them boys there. So I finished my last, and we train really hard here. So I've peaked at the absolute perfect time. I'm honestly right at my peak right now. I've got my last sparring session tomorrow, and it's 5 weeks. So I'm literally at the peak. Sometimes I peaked a little bit early, even though, like I told you, I've got to prepare for. I've only had 6 weeks to prepare, but I train so hard because I'm thinking in my head, shit, I need to get fit. So I go hard. But now I was just cruise the last 3 weeks, fucking balls to wall, and now I'm just right at the peak of my fitness, and I just can't wait to go out there, man, and showcase. I'm going to be fit and strong.
Now, are you one of these guys who you gear your training camp around the fighter specific, or do you kind of train the same way every time?
I train the same way every time. I prepare for the worst. I prepare the guys are going to be as strong as me, if not stronger. I prepare they're going to be fit. I prepare it could go to 3 rounds. Obviously, there's little things that you're going to change in, with like just styles, obviously, you know what I mean, and the things you've got to look out for and like that. But at the end of the day, fitness and cardio and, building all that stuff is key. You know what I mean? Like, I won't be 12 weeks out working game plans that early. I'm all about, the last few weeks, that's when I focus. Anything can happen, right? I could train 12 weeks for this one guy and then he pulls out. It's happened to me too many times. So I just worry about my game. That's the thing. Like you said, my style, I have my way with people. I bully people. I want them to fight my fight. So that's what I'm going to do. I will prepare for the worst, but I know I'm going to have my way. I'm going to do my thing. I want to worry about what I'm doing, not what they're doing.
Do you have an official prediction of how this fight's going to play out on December 29th?
I mean, I've been seeing it time and time again. Early finish, honestly. Again, no disrespect, not because I think he's an easier matchup than the last few, but just purely stylistically, like the way we're going to be going. I'm going to have to use some big shots. And, he's going to try and be alpha as well, and I think I'm going to catch him early. If not, I'll grind him, catch him later rounds, or the decision if have to be, whatever it is, but I think I'm catching him early.
Okay, now, do you believe that beating Chad Mendes warrants a title shot?
I honestly do. My name's starting to get thrown out there already, like the winner of Mendes, Volkanovski. Obviously, Max Holloway has took out some of the guys in the top, Yet Moicano, who's probably should be next in line, but he missed weight, and a lot of people are throwing him off because of that. But you got Moicano and Aldo. That's not for a while. So I honestly think my name's going to be getting thrown out there. So I'm going to pursue it. I'm expecting to put a big performance on, finish Mendes, look incredible, and then people are going to be going, "Oh, this is the guy." So 100%, I think my name's going to be thrown out there.
Awesome. Well, do you have any sponsors or people you want to give a special shout out to?
Yeah, definitely. Southern Cross Industries, a major sponsor. I really want to give them a plug. They've always been with me. They'll be there at the fights as well. So a little plug for them. Thanks again for everything. Unibet and Muscle Meals, shout out to them. And the gyms that have helped me out, Tiger Muay Thai, Freestyle Fighting Gym, Joe Lopez, my head coach, and then the boys at City Kickboxing. Big thanks, and add me on not Snapchat, I don't use Snapchat. Add me on Instagram, Twitter, at Alex Volkanovski.
Awesome. George and Frank say hello, by the way.
All right, yeah, they're the boys over there, the Hickman brothers. I actually done a fair bit of work with them, and mate, you know, they're unreal to work with, you know, both of them. So I got a lot of work with them, and like I told you, you know, I got to learn. You know what I mean? I had time to just learn and just sort of soak in some information rather than just prepare for the fight. So hey, I'm gonna be a good dick. December 29, I'm coming.
Well, Alex Volkanovski, thank you so much for taking out the time. Chad Mendes is on your dinner plate. UFC 232, December 29th. Have fun out there.
Thank you. Thanks, champ.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, have a good one, champ.